What's going on, y'all? It's JD Pickell. Today on CFB with JD, we're going to break down why Oklahoma is number 8 in the CFP rankings. Welcome into CFB with JD, the place that has you covered year-round, all week long for college football content. A video comes out nearly every single day. Would encourage you to subscribe. If you love college football, we love college football. Let's get together and make this thing happen. I just sit in the seat. Y'all drive the show. Armstrong, Sims, and Jack McKenzie put out the content and do the heavy lifting. So the CFP rankings came out last night. We did our own CFP with JD rankings, which is already on this channel. Would encourage you to check that out because, we just think we're right, so we're going to go from there. But Oklahoma was one of the teams that everybody was talking about on Twitter afterwards when they got released because Oklahoma is undefeated. They're in a Power 5 conference, and they're sitting at number 8 in the rankings. Now, for me, I don't think they're the number 8 team in the country. I think they're the number 5 team in the country, but that's another story. Again, we did that video already. I just want to break down why I think the committee did this because the committee told us a lot about that criteria by ranking Oklahoma at 8. But I also want to talk through why Oklahoma fans should not be discouraged. Not even just a little bit. Not even just a little bit. And a lot of you are Oklahoma fans that have subscribed so far, so appreciate you there, and we're doing this for y'all. So again, if you have content you want to see, 1, subscribe, 2, watch the video, 3, tell us in the comment section. So let's just get into it. Oklahoma was number 8 in the rankings. Probably the main thing is because they have no ranked wins. Their best win statistically is Kansas State. Now you would say, well, what about Texas? That was a big-time win. It was College game day. And yeah, optically it was a good win, but Texas is 4-4. They don't have a winning record in the Big 12 conference play. Kansas State's 5-3. They haven't passed the eye test either. So they've looked unimpressive against teams like Tulane, against Nebraska, and against Kansas. Now I know for the majority of those, that's under previous management. That's like the Spencer Rattler era, which feels like light years ago when he was going to win the Heisman Trophy. That's another video. But then you went into Lawrence, played Kansas, and didn't look impressive either. So then you're kind of twiddling your thumb saying, oh, shoot, man, we got to put on some style points. Because that's what the committee is asking to see by putting you at number 8. They're saying take care of business against who you're supposed to take care of business against. Don't mess around. Don't play with your food. Don't beat Kansas by whatever it was, 2 scores. You should blow them out of the water. You shouldn't be having to mess around with them in the first half. And they said that's Cincinnati too, to be fair, because Cincinnati is number 6. They messed around in some games and are paying the price for it now. Probably paying the price for it because they're in the American as well. But for Oklahoma, you stumbled through the first half of your season, but you're still undefeated. That's the good news. No harm, no foul. You're still undefeated. If you have a loss on your record, that becomes a lot more of a tricky situation to climb out of and get into the college football playoff. Again, under new management, Caleb Williams, your team looks like a different program. So the good news is, you didn't play your best ball for 7 weeks of the season, have a new stud at quarterback who I think has a chance to be in the Heisman Trophy conversation, think he will be in New York for that award. I don't know if he wins it, but there's still a lot left in front of you. And I think that's the perfect part of this is that Oklahoma is going to peak at the right time. You're going to play your best football down the stretch when you play the best football team. So the rest of the way, right now Oklahoma's on a bye, and it's a well-needed bye because they didn't look like themselves really until they played Tech. To finish the year, you have at number 12 Baylor. If you come to Waco and beat the number 12 Bears, probably College game day or Fox Big Noon Kickoff is going to be there. Maybe both. We've seen it happen before. That's a big stage. That's a top 15 team. Who's to say it's not going to be a top 10 team by the time it's all said and done? And that would be enormous for the committee. Like you have your big ranked win there. If you could do it in emphatic fashion, even better. Then you have Iowa State at home. And Iowa State is a win that I think would sit kind of funny with the committee. I think you probably split the room depending on what people think about Iowa State. But it's a win against a team that people thought at the beginning of the year was going to be in this college football playoff conversation. Now things have happened and they're not going to be. But Iowa State, in a lot of people's minds, is still a big win. Turn the page. Then you finish the year at number 11, Oklahoma State in Bedlam. I'm not so convinced you won't have a College game day or Big Noon Kickoff situation there. We'll see again how this whole thing shakes out with the television contracts and what they feel obligated to do, who they've already gone to see at that point. But that would be another, again, it's going to be a top 15 win at the very least. Who's to say it's not a top 10 win? And then you probably play for the Big 12 title. So let's just say, for example, you run the table. Let's say you win out, you dominate the rest of your games. You have 3 count them 3 at the very least, at the most minimum excitement, 3 top 15 wins. That's going to move the needle. You'll be a Power 5 champion, be a undefeated Power 5 champion, 3 top 15 wins. You're not getting left out. You're not getting left out. Even if you don't win these games impressively, if they're all by 1 point, you'll be a Power 5 conference champion. You'll be undefeated. You're not getting left out. So you control your own destiny. Now, let's say the worst case scenario is you end up losing one of those games. I guess the worst case scenario is lose all 3. But let's just say for the worst case scenario, for making the college football playoff, you can still lose one of these games. Depends how it looks. If it's not the conference championship, you still are going to find yourself in a very real spot to make the college football playoff. Like, one loss doesn't sink you. I think it depends a lot how it looks. It depends a lot who's it's against. You can't have that one loss be to Iowa State. If it's to Iowa State, you're really putting your fate in the committee's hands. And that's not what you want to be doing if you're Oklahoma. Let's just say that. I'll just leave that there. Do not lose to Iowa State if you're Oklahoma, because at that point, the college football playoff will not smile upon you. It'll be late in the year. It'll be to a team that I would assume is going to be unranked. That will not sit well with the committee, so don't do that. A lot of reason for encouragement. The number one thing has to be Caleb Williams, right? Like, the offense looks different. Playmakers are getting the football. The run game is increasing. The offense looks like a team, looks like a unit that will keep you in every single game that you're playing in. Every single game that you're playing in, you will have a legitimate shot because of what Caleb Williams is going to do for you offensively. I'll leave that there. What I worry about is the defense. The defenses look streaky. So if I'm Oklahoma, Alex Grinch, can we get the defense together for just a few games, my guy? Can we get him to get up for Bedlam? Can we get him to get up for a road trip to Waco? Because if you can, you're going to be playing for the college football playoff. I'm telling you, you're going to be up for the college football playoff if you can get the defense together. That's my 2 cents on Oklahoma. Don't panic that you're the number 8 team right now. A lot of ball left to be played. Your biggest games are ahead of you. And you got one of the best players in the country playing quarterback for you right now. Oh, and by the way, he's 19 years old. That's it for us here at CFB with JD. Subscribe to the channel. Put a video out, again, nearly every single day. That's not my doing. That's Armstrong Sims and Jack McKenzie making it shake. We're going to keep this party rolling. We'll see y'all next time.